So there you go. This is the diverse cover crop. Yeah, and we're really happy with it, and really excited about what this might do. Hoping to go into poppies after this, and the management at this point, we're still throwing up a couple of ideas, but it's probably going to get sprayed off and then disked in eventually. We're being a bit conservative in the way that we're doing it. We could do a disc in a green incorporation, which is sort of typical for us, but with the tillage radish in here and we haven't used it before and we hear it's pretty hard to kill, we're looking at being a bit conservative and spraying it off. That will be fairly soon. It's early June and we're looking to plant poppies I guess September, early October. So yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Standing out here at Ratho Farm in the barn paddock. This is our diverse cover crop and it's looking really good. We've just had a historical rainfall event here. We're getting about 209 mils in about 36 hours. So it's it looked a bit sad after that. I imagine that all the pore spaces there was no oxygen left in the soil. It's starting to bounce back now. The brassicas are looking a little sad still, but the oats are really coming on strong. Like, we were a bit surprised at how lackluster the oats looked early on, but now, as you can see, there is quite a population of oats coming through here. And we're starting to see the lupins sort of catching up a little bit. They're still behind it, and the vetch is still hiding way down in the canopy. It's not really growing up. You see the vetch down in here. I was hoping and expecting it to climb, and it still might. So got some tillage radish here. We're starting to see the tubers push out above the ground. Next to it, looks like maybe another tillage radish here. Lupin here in front. You see vetch crawling across the ground here. It's still alive, it's just not putting on a huge amount of biomass. Beautiful dark green leaves on our oats. What else have we got in here? We've also got Nemat, which is a radish, another radish, and that's sort of starting to look like it's going to flower. Yeah, it's this paddock's looking really, really good. This is one of our better paddocks, so we would have expected it to grow a good crop of anything, and it seems that it can grow a good cover crop too. This paddock also had a couple other species in it that just were sort of no-shows, as I've talked before in another video. So I think the clover, the Schaffdale clover, was a no-show, and millet, because we probably started sowing a little late, was a bit of a no-show too. Where we incorporated the biofumigant, and this is what we've got. The soil this is about 6 weeks after incorporation. The soil is really, really nice, and it sort of feels like it's really got a low bulk density. It's light, you know, you can feel the aeration in the soil. This has been ripped, the soil here, but we're planting tulips into this now, and it's amazing. It's really good going. So I've got a tillage radish here. As you can see, that's pretty impressive. That's getting down. The main part of the tube is probably 25 centimeters, and then it tapers off. And this root, this fine root here at the end, will keep going down and down and down. Yeah, well over a metre, maybe a metre and a half if we're lucky. And yeah, you can start to see, why this is a pretty impressive crop. That's fodder. And then you've got this huge storage tank down here that's very soft, very watery, and just can break down rapidly. And that's one of the good things about it compared to something like a turnip or something with a lot of lignin in its roots that can push through compaction layers. The tillage radish is watery and can break down quickly, which is quite exciting. We'll see what happens. I'm standing in the lily pond paddock beside of our first diverse cover crop, and I just thought I'd show you what's going on now. It's 6 months since it was sown, and it's been mowed down twice. Its germination was never fantastic, and so we ended up with quite a lot of weeds in it. But yeah, we've seen a lot of different things over that time. Firstly, we had Syrah rye grow up and go to head, and we had the mustard go to flower and start to seed. And the amount of mustard that you can see here still, just the yellow flowers around the edges, are due to seeds maturing and then falling on the ground and germinating again. We never had so we mowed that down. Then we came back. Then the oats became the dominant species, and they grew up and also went to head, and they also got full of rust, and then we mowed those down, and now we are seeing ryegrass, a bit of cereal rye, and vetch being the dominant species now. Not so much just here, but in some areas the vetch is quite strong and really climbing up over most things and starting to sort of smother out areas. There's still a couple of lupins and things around, but really there's not much there. We will be forced to spray this off fairly soon, ready for a late August, September planting of poppies, which is the plan at the moment. I've been encouraged by studies coming out of the US and the UK recently showing that cover crops in just 1 year can show a financial reward, and all the rest is gravy. Now, the cover crops have to be done correctly, and one of the big take-homes from the UK study was don't skimp on your seeding rate. You're already going out there with sowing, and you're going out there to terminate in one form or another. Don't save a few dollars on your seeding rate, especially if that means you're going to have weed pressure because of a lack of biomass. So do it properly and it will work for you.